So here are 6 questions. Most of them are reviewing what you've done so far. Now, these 2 questions here are just algebra. These here from exponents, and especially here negative exponents. So again, I said in algebra, when you have fractions, it's a good idea when you're solving is to multiply everything by the common denominator here, and the common denominator here is 4. And remember, when you multiply everything by 4, when it's a fraction, you only multiply the 4 to the top. So here you'll end up with 12 over 4, because you're multiplying 4 only to the top. 12 over 4, which is 3. X minus 4 times 2 is 8. And 4 times 10 over 4, you multiply just to the top, 40 over 4, which gives you 10. Also, you could just cancel the 4 here and cancel the 4 here and there. You get the same thing. Now, 3x equals 18, because you're adding 8 to both sides. That cancels here. And now what you do at this stage here, you divide both sides by 3. And you get x equals 6. And that's how you answer this one. Now the second one right here, it's a very easy way to solve this, just to cross multiply the 3 right into the 5 right away. Because this is on the bottom. When it crosses, it goes to the top. You remember 5 is on top of 1, so the 3 crosses, goes to the top. 3 times 5 is 15, so you'll end up with 2x minus 7 equals 15. Lots of students don't know how to do this step, but this step is a lifesaver. The minute you do it, this whole thing becomes so easy to do after that. Now 2x equals 22, because you know we're adding 7 to both sides to get rid of the negative 7 here. And at this stage, you just divide both sides by 2, and you get x equals 11. Here, when you have bases or exponents outside the brackets, you always multiply them into the exponents inside the bracket. So this becomes x to the power of negative 4 divided by x to the power 2 times 3 is 6. And when you're dividing, you minus the exponents, and therefore you're going to get x to the negative 10. And when you get x to the negative 10, what you need to do is you make this 1 over x to the power of 10, because we want to express the exponent as positive rather than negative exponent. Now this one here, you multiply the exponent outside and the exponent inside, so 5 to the negative 12 divided by, you multiply in here 5 times 3 times 2, sorry, is 6, so 5 to the power of 6. When you're dividing, you minus the exponents, so you get 5 to the negative 18, which you should change as 1 over 5 to the power of 18. You remember, when we have a negative exponent, we flip, this is 5 over 1, we flip it, we could make the exponent positive. And leave this in exponential form. You don't have to change it. How about here? Here, we want to change every negative exponent to positive. What we do here, when we multiply or we divide, we minus the exponents. We could only do that when the bases are the same. But here is the base 5 and the base is 3, so you cannot do that anymore. So you have to change this to positive exponent. So this becomes 1 over 5 to the power of 1 divided by 1 over 3 squared, which gives me 1 over 5 divided by 1 over 9, which gives me 1 over 5 times 9 over 1, because division, you change it to multiplication, and you flip the divider. Now we end up with 9 over 5 as my final answer. Yeah. How about here? Here, you do the same thing. You change the 3 to the negative 1 to 1 over 3 inside the brackets. And that's a minus. And the 3 here to the negative 2, you change it to 1 over 3 squared. And you still have the negative 1 outside of here, We're not going to worry about that -1 till later. But now what we need to do, we need to change this to 1/3 minus 1/9, still to the power of -1. When we're subtracting, we minus, when we're subtracting inside here, we do a common denominator. So the common denominator between 3 and 9 is 9. So I have to multiply this 3 by 3 to make it 9. I multiply this by 3 to make it 9. Now I have 3 minus 1, because 1 times 3 is 3, minus 1 all over 9 to the power of -1 gives me 2/9 to the power of -1. And now we don't like negative exponents, so you flip this and then you make the exponent positive. So this becomes 9/2 to the power of 1. When it's to the power of 1, you don't even need to write that. So it just becomes 9/2.